It is a fact that the Andrews government's fifth lockdown is a hammer blow to all Victorians. But it's particularly devastating for the 1.4 million people who live and work outside Melbourne in regional Victoria. Bev McArthur is the Victorian Liberal MP whose electorate covers a third of rural Victoria. Anita Donlan runs Beef It Up, a charity supporting rural farmers and businesses. They've both had a gutful of lockdowns and join me now. Bev, Anita, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Chris.
Anita, I want to start with you. You travel widely in your work. You know a lot of people. Your network is vast. But to give people an understanding, I don't get it. Are you really that concerned about a virus getting into country Victoria? Because country Victoria is sparse. It's made up of small towns, small hamlets. I would have thought that would be very easy to control if a hamlet or a little town had the virus in it. So I don't understand why we're locking down rural Victoria as well.
Nobody around regional Australia understands it for the simple fact that everybody has got the QR codes. Everybody is doing the right thing. And I have been saying from day one, Chris, on Paul Murray, to you, to everybody, there is no reason for us to be locked down. Every government, every state government has to introduce, in our opinion, it's not just mine, it's everybody's, introduce a three-tier lockdown. So we have the city, we have the regional, and then we have rural, because they are all different landscapes. There is no reason that our communities should be hurting the way that they are. There's anger out there, and I tell you what, when it comes to polling day, it's not going to be resonating back into the polls. If Mr Andrews and so forth keep doing what they're doing, it's going to reflect on polling day. Our small businesses are just absolutely had a gutful. The truckies, the way that the truckies are being treated now. If the truckies stop, our country stops.
Yep.
Our small businesses. Bendigo, we have got Australia's largest sheep and wool show in Bendigo. On the eve of it starting, they were all told, sorry, go home.
Yep.
We've got people from Tasmania in Bendigo that are stuck here now. It is knee-jerk, it is unnecessary, and he's got to do something because it's just bollocks.
Bev, Dan Andrews said today, he knows all about living and working in remote parts of Victoria because his family worked there and was based there. Well, why does he make it so tough for people hundreds and hundreds of kilometres from Melbourne?
Well, this man is just inside the tram tracks. He doesn't appreciate or understand or care about anybody outside the tram tracks. You know, I've got an electorate of 79,000 square kilometres, over 500,000 constituents, and the 24 municipalities. There are 4 municipalities with just a handful of cases. Anita's quite right. It is appalling that the whole of rural Victoria, Australia, rural Australia has not been locked down. There are other sensible people managing that. Even Gladys is not locking down the whole of New South Wales. But this man presses the lockdown button, and that's the first thing they react to.
Yeah.
No common sense. You've got rural communities. I was on the border of South Australia and Victoria the other day at Edenhope. On day one in March last year, they lost their health system service. They just went back to South Australia. They're 30 kilometres away. There's no teams they can play sport with because they were a mixture of people from across the border of both South Australia and Victoria. They're on the road to nowhere now. Tourists used to stop there. It is a ridiculous nonsense. And when we had a big outbreak in Colac, for instance, the community managed it perfectly, not one person in hospital. And right now, there's nobody in hospital in Victoria.
Exactly,
so
there's none.
Why have we locked down the whole state?
Yeah, Anita, tell me, you're based in Bendigo. What are people in Bendigo saying?
They're not very happy. I could use another word for it, but they're not very happy. Chris, even on the river communities, we were in the bubble. We have to get out to our small communities with the work that we do on a mental health level. We can't do that. We were about to go to South Australia, just over the border to a little town. We can't do that. There are no cases. People are angry. The mental health is what we are really worried about. And, of course, the social interaction. City people are very different to rural people. If there's somebody new in town, people know.
Yep. Exactly. Bev, just one quick one. Is the financial assistance announced today by both the federal government and the state government going to save people in the bush?
Well, no, this financial assistance won't save anybody, really, because all businesses want, as they tell me, they want to keep their doors open. They want certainty. They want confidence to be able to continue, because it's no good getting a $2,000 handout. You might have lost tens of thousands by closing down. So they just need to keep their doors open. They need the customers coming through their doors, and we need to get on with life. This virus is going to be around for a very long time.
Exactly.
We can't be going down this lockdown path forever.
I'm with you. We've got to start living with it. Beverly McArthur, Anita Donlan, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.